Good morning, YouTube. I just want to do an update on my 10-gallon planted aquarium. First thing that I'm going to talk about is the dwarf lily. I told you all that I'd be doing an update video once the dwarf lily had reached the surface of the tank. And the dwarf lily is finally reaching the surface. The leaves haven't unfurled yet, but if you see that leaf that's all the way up at the top, that leaf was just developing from the bottom of the rosette about 2 days ago. And then over the course of yesterday, it shot all the way up to the top of the tank. I think today the leaf will probably unfurl. All my Microsome predica, my Java fern, has been taking off like a weed still, which is really good. It's all doing extremely well. The Anubias nana, I have some up here, and I have some over here. The Anubias nana is not growing super quickly, but Anubias nana, as I've mentioned before, is a super slow-growing species. But to be honest, in this tank, it's been more of a pain than it's worth. As if you look up here at this piece, it will not stay down. So I'm going to tie it down this weekend, and hopefully I can get it to anchor to the terracotta pots. What I'm most excited to show you guys is the newest addition to the tank, if I can find her. So hiding inside these terracotta pots, try to come around from the other side as well. Don't know if you can see her, but she's hidden in the shadows of the terracotta pots. I was looking at my local fish store for a different type of algae eater, just something different. They didn't have any Autosynctus cats, which I really like. And Chinese algae eaters, I've heard, are not very. I've heard that they eat a lot of plant matter, and I've heard that they're not the best algae eater. So I didn't want to go with either one of those. But I was at my really large fish store that has a really good selection, and he points me into this really small speckled pleco. I'm gonna zoom in, see if you guys can't see her. To this really small speckled pleco, and they had a bunch of them. And he told me that it was a Colombian snowball pleco. So, and he told me that they stayed small and that they'd make good algae eaters. So I was pretty excited. And I picked her up. I've named her Belle. I've had her for about 5 days. But of course, I wasn't happy with just knowing the common name. So I looked up the scientific name. However, I found out that there's about 3 species of pleco that are all called snowball plecos. But after doing a bunch of investigation, I've come to the conclusion that she's a Hypancistrus inspector. Hypancistrus, all of the plecos in the genus Hypancistrus, I wish I could show you. All of the fish in the genus Hypancistrus aren't omnivores or carnivores. All of them appreciate some meat matter in their diet. So that being said, Belle is not, Belle, that's what I've named her. Belle is not going to be a good algae eater because Belle would really love to prefer to eat things like shrimp pellets and meaty foods. So while she won't be a great algae eater, she'll be a lot of fun. Hypancistrus inspector comes from Colombia and Venezuela in the Rio Negro. They get about a max size of about 6 inches. Which is really small for a pleco. And they're really beautiful. I wish she'd come out right now. What I see myself doing with this tank is I'm obviously going to let it keep growing. I think it's looking really good. I'm excited to see what it'll look like once that huge lily gets all of its leaves to the surface. And I may cut off any leaves that aren't surface leaves. Nextly, I'd like to talk about what I plan on doing with this tank. In the future, what I see myself doing with this tank is I'm going to be taking out the Dalmatian mollies, and I'll be replacing them with a trio of dwarf gourami. So I'll have the dwarf gourami in there, and then the inspector in there. I'm going to breed the gourami eventually. I'll take the inspector out for that, obviously. I'll take everyone out once there's fry. But I plan on breeding the dwarf gourami, hopefully in the 10. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And the dwarf gourami would appreciate all the plant matter to help build a bubble nest in. If you guys have any comments, please let me know. If you have any advice or anything like that for caring for Hypancistrus inspector, please let me know as well. And thank you for watching.